Hello and welcome to this video. Today we'll be solving our first problem on CodeChef. Now, before solving your first problem, make sure that you are logged into the site, or if you don't have an account, just click on sign up and make an account. And once you have done that, come back to login and log in using your username and password. So I'll log in into the site. Once you have logged in, like I just did, I'll hover over practice and click on easy. Once I have reached the page, I'll scroll a little down and I'll click on successful submissions. This will show me the problem with the most successful submissions first. So life, the universe and everything is the problem with the most successful submissions. We'll be taking up this problem as our first problem to be solved on CodeChef, and remember that most first timers start by solving this problem as their first problem on CodeChef. So I'll click on life, the universe and everything. Note down the URL of the problem. It is codechef.com/problems/test. This is what a problem page typically looks like. You have the name of the problem. You can view all submissions, your submissions, and you can submit. Then you have the statement of the problem, and you have the sample input and the sample output. So let me simplify the problem for you. You will need to input from the console and output the same to the console until you encounter the number 42. Like here in this example, 1, 2, 88, 42, 99 were the input. The output were only 1 to 88. So you'll take the input from the console and output it back to the console until you read 42 from the input console. So let us submit this problem by clicking on the submit button. So we have reached the solution page of the problem, and this is what a typical solution page looks like. You have the editor in the center where you will be typing the code, or if you want to type the code in your local machine and then upload, just write the code on your local machine, click on choose file and select the file. For now we'll be writing on the code at the editor. Also, one important thing to note that is, before you start writing the code on the editor or the solution, just select the language in which you will be writing the code. We'll be solving the problem in C, so I'll select C from here. And another thing to note is the toggle button, the toggle uncheck and check button. If you uncheck the toggle editor, you'll get a plain editor without any formatting options or anything like that. But if you keep it checked, you'll get all sorts of formatting options for C, CPP, Java, JavaScript. For now I'll select C. So now that I've selected the formatting option, let's just start writing the code. Let us quickly have a look at what I did. I declared a variable n, then I started an infinite loop, and from the console I input a number. If the number is 42, then I break out of the loop, but until the number is not 42, I output the same number to the console, and then the program exits. So this is what a typical C code looks like. Let us try and submitting the problem and see that if the online judge accepts it or not. Oops, so we got a compile time error. Now we can click here and see what kind of a compile time error that is. So there are two lines. One is that there is no such file or directory conaio.h, and there is a warning that the return type of main is not int. Let us quickly go back and try and submitting the solution again and try to get rid of these errors. So to go to the code which I had written, I'll go to my submissions. I'll go to view solution. From here I can just copy the code which I had written, and I'll then go to the problem page and click on submit. So we have reached the solution page again. I'll select the language C before writing the code. Then I'll paste the code which I had copied from the view solution, and we need to quickly make a few changes so that we get rid of the errors that we were getting. Before we proceed, one of the things that you need to understand is that the online judge at CodeChef uses the standard GCC compiler for the language C, whereas the code which we have written is the one that we are used to writing when we use our favorite compiler, Turbo C. So the GCC is the standard compiler which is used by the online judge at CodeChef, and there are differences between a Turbo C compiler and a GCC compiler. So there are minor differences. You can read about these differences later on. For now, I'll just tell you some quick fixes so that this Turbo C code can be run on the GCC compiler, and we can get rid of the compile time errors which we were getting on CodeChef. So let us do those quick fixes. First of all, you need to know that one of the errors that we were getting was that conaio.h was not recognized as a file or a directory. So remember that conaio.h is a header file in Turbo C, but it is not a header file in GCC. So let me remove this, and when I remove conaio.h, I also remove the get statement. Then another warning that we were getting was that main should be int. So let me make the return type of main as integer, and let me add a statement return 1. Also, I'm copying the code which I have written so that I can use it later, and then I'll just click on submit and submit this code. Okay, so now that the compile time error is gone, we got a runtime error. To know what kind of a runtime error it is, I'll just go to my submissions and I'll hover over the runtime error. It is NZEC runtime error. NZEC stands for non-zero exit code. Remember that we returned 1. The online judge at CodeChef expects every main function to end with a 0 exit code. Maybe that's why we are getting the error. To confirm this, let us go back and try to submit it with the return by returning 0. So let me go to the problem page again, and let me click on submit. So I'll paste the code which I had copied, and instead of return 1, I'll return 0, because for any language the online judge at CodeChef expects the main function to return 0. So okay, so I did a mistake here. I need to select the language first, and then I need to write the code, and I'll make it 0, and I'll just submit it. So this time around we got a wrong answer. So we have progressed from a compile time error to a runtime error, and now to wrong answer. So let us try and fix this error now. Let us have a look at input and output once again. See that for every input, output is on a new line. So when we take input from the console 1, we output 1 to the console. Then when we take 2, we output 2 to the console, which is on a new line. Maybe what is missing from our code is a new line character, and let's just make that small change and see that if that is what is the thing that is missing. I'll first select the language, which is C. I'll paste the code. I'll make this return 0. And I'll just add a new line character at printf, and I'll try to submit the code. Finally, we have got a correct answer, and for every problem that you solve on CodeChef, you should always share with your friends so that they can come, they can get inspired, and they can solve problems on CodeChef. If you need any help from us, just mail us at help@codechef.com and we'll be very glad to help you out. Thank you for watching this video.